All right. Hello, Maree and Jazzy.
Hello.
Hello,
Hello,
everybody.
Jazzy.
How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's doing as good as I am. The energies are hitting me really nicely. I am super happy and enjoy. And Maree, how are the energies hitting you?
Yeah, good. I have definitely been a lot better in the last probably 3 or 4 or 5 days. I feel like the big shift I was going through internally. It's like it's all settled, and just what I'm finding is that I can really feel the difference in consciousness. Like even when I shut my eyes and meditate, it's like this whole different consciousness. It's incredible, and it's so peaceful. So I don't know about everybody else, but I mean, there was a few weeks where I was really going through some big shifts, and now
Yes,
I'm
it was
going,
not
oh,
fun. It was not
not
enjoyable.
fun,
No,
not
no.
fun at all.
Mhm.
And I really had to draw on everything I knew, using all my skills, getting help from friends to run some energy for me and getting insights for me. And once I got the picture of it all, I went, oh, this makes so much sense. And
Yeah.
so now, so it's like we have to have faith and trust that when we're going through something like that, there is always a really big upgrade that happens with it. So yeah, so no,
Yeah.
I'm feeling really peaceful is probably the good word at the moment.
That's wonderful. That's
Yeah.
wonderful. Yeah.
So, yes.
Yeah.
Hi,
So
Indy.
yeah, I know he's
Oh,
he's I got a new book. It's called Mindsight. It's about seeing with your eyes closed, and we've been practicing with Octavia, and it was really cool. So I decided to get the book, and books, it's paper, and cats like, boxes, paper. So of course he's like laying on it the whole, that's why he's standing here, is because the book is underneath his butt.
it's so funny because I'm doing a jigsaw puzzle at the moment, and I've got it on my coffee table with the mirror under it. And so Clive just comes and plonks himself all over it and has a little play with the pieces. And I'm just going,
Yes.
what's the point? There's no point.
It's funny. I've thought about doing a puzzle, and then I'm like, that would be useless. This cat would have that in pieces in no time.
I know. I mean, it's pretty amusing. I don't watch TV. I watch movies, but I don't watch TV per se.
Yeah.
And so I just watch my cat, see what crazy stuff he's going to come up with next.
Yeah, I know, absolutely. That's a great way to stay in the now moment with these kitties.
I know.
So,
So
yeah,
yeah,
that's funny.
it is funny. So, yeah. So I wonder, how is everyone else feeling? Like, if people starting to feel a little bit of a settling from the huge upgrades we've had, it'd be really good to know. So it's nice to
Yeah.
hear Elisa's feeling fabulous, and you as
Yes.
well. So, yeah,
Happy and enjoy. Yes, absolutely.
good,
Absolutely.
good.
Um, yeah, I know, Lady Hawk. This cat, it's weird. It's like a Bengal, and they all look the same. Almost like sometimes I feel like the simulation like was not very inventive because because he looks like every other cat. It makes me feel like I don't know, like he's like like the simulation is more in my face, kind of, because I
That's so
see
funny.
cats like him all the time. Every time I go play pickleball, there's like two cats that exactly like him, and it's like, oh yeah, yeah,
I do wonder about that sometimes. I have, because I don't know why, I've just somehow got another black and white tuxedo cat. But my first cat was like that as well, that I had once I'd left home. And he used to get other cats to come and play with him. He was an old soul, this cat. He would invite cats over to play with him, and then he'd feed them his dinner and make me give him more. But about 3 times he had this black and white cat at different times, and they looked identical, and I didn't know which one was which. They were playing outside, and I was just going, this is like a mind like bender. And I didn't know. And there was 3 times when we moved from Sydney back to Perth, he still found black and white cats to play with, and they looked identical. So it's really bizarre that you say that.
yeah,
Mm,
yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
even when I was in Greece and Turkey and Egypt, the same thing. And I always was like, "Oh, that's just Indy saying hi," like to remind me,
Beautiful. Exactly. Yep, I agree with you. I reckon they're all connected, that's for sure. So they're so
Yeah.
connected. They're like
Yeah.
crystal skulls. They're all connected.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
So yeah, did you want to share your message from Zandy?
oh, I do. Thank you. I was just thinking that. So, remember when I said Zan had to go in and she wasn't very well, and could we just hold us in a space of love for her? And it was interesting because she was actually going in for some surgery, and it was an hour after the show. So when we were all doing that, um, it was actually just an hour before her surgery, and she said a few things happened. Her little boy did something, and he pushed on her tummy because she had a blockage, and they had to go in and virtually they were going to take out some of her small test as well. So she wasn't real happy about it. But anyway, and then we did that, and so an hour later they went in to do the surgery, and they couldn't find the blockage. It was gone, and the doctor was just shocked, and he went, "This just doesn't happen. This is not something we actually see." And it was really interesting. So I just thought the timing was amazing. So when I told Zan what Elisa had asked us to do, which was to do this beautiful healing, use our beautiful, beautiful healing skills, she just burst into tears, and she was just going, "Oh my God, really? I can't believe that." She was just so grateful. And so she wanted to thank everybody for who actually did do that. And she wanted to thank Elisa specifically as well for actually thinking of her. But guys, miracles happen, and I think this is one of them, because they didn't have to end up taking anything. They had to look through everything, but they didn't have to take it. So she was like, but I couldn't believe when she burst into tears. You could just feel her heart opening. It was amazing. So thank you all very much from our Zan, and she's getting there. She's recovering. So
Yeah. Yeah. So
miracles
that is
happen.
just, you know, it's crazy. It's crazy. We are so powerful. So everybody who sent the energy to Zan, you know, thank you, because all of us together, we made a miracle happen. And I am so grateful for you. So, so grateful, you know,
Yes. Yeah.
it's
And
just
so is
amazing.
Zan, believe me. She honestly, I've never heard that girl cry like she did. So that's how much she touched her. So yeah. And look, we have a beautiful group of friends, and if anyone ever becomes unwell, or something's going on for them, even on an emotional level, we'll actually just put out the call and go, "Hey, at some stage today, can people hold a space of love for such and such?" And we do. And so many of us will see similar things when we go in and hold the space of love. It's just amazing. So yeah. So Zan's on. So so it's something that you guys could maybe even talk about with similar minded friends or whatever. Have a group set up so you can just get onto Messenger and just say, "Hey, can we all just step up and do this for this person?"
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I've seen healing circles where
Mm.
and especially in tribes, in places where there's not a lot of medical
Yeah.
stuff. That's how they heal each other, is they do healing circles where they, like, people hold hands physically around the person and heal them.
Yeah,
Literally heal them.
absolutely. Well, I mean, look at all the evidence that's now coming out around, healing sound frequency.
Mhm.
More and more and more is being seeded, I think, into our minds that, hey, there's another way to heal. I've known forever about frequency and sound healing, but to actually see it coming out into mainstream a lot more is really positive. So, because our
Yeah.
body is frequency. So if we
Mhm.
can just realign the frequency and get things back into their beautiful perfection, then there's no dis-ease.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah. So that's wonderful to hear. It's such a beautiful story. I'm so happy that we made a difference.
yes, absolutely did. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so I'm going to start with I see Lady Hawk has a question. We'll ask that question, and then we'll ask the show question, and then start posting the questions you guys want to ask about.
Mm.
Okay, so my one fear is power outage during the winter. Is there any threat of an outage in the north central US cities?
Okay, so I presume you're more in winter, of course. When you've got your snow and everything. I remember when I lived up on the mountain, if we didn't have power, we had nothing. We had no water, no toilet, no anything, because everything was off grid sort of thing, powered by that electricity. So I sort of understand it.
Lady Hawk, I definitely wanted to mention, and you guys know I talk about this a lot. So whatever we worry about, whatever we fear about, tends to create itself right into our reality because of our thoughts. So just remember that. Just concentrate on the fact that there isn't going to be one. That's it. And there's you don't accept anything else other than that reality. I actually put a video of Octavia and we had a session, and in the private session, and there was a part in there that was so important that I edited the video and I posted it. And it was about keeping your mind chatter away, because it's your thoughts that create your reality, your thoughts and your emotions and your current vibration, right? How you feel. And so it was specifically around this, right? About worries and fears, when we have worries and we have fears, we create those. So
yeah. I agree. And also I think, the other thing is as well, I mean, everyone's going to be in the same boat if it happens. And so you come into a community and things get worked out. So it's not to me, there's always a solution if something does happen, even if it's out of the blue.
Yeah, just having trust that even if it happens, it's like, well, I'll be taken care of. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, absolutely. And so look, I mean, I don't feel there's going to be any big major power outages in places that are going to need electricity.
Yeah.
So I think what Elisa's saying, it doesn't make sense that they would do that. It would cause too much chaos and cray-cray, But like I said, if anything happens, you just everyone will just pull together. It won't be a big drama because people will be around to help. So Lisa's right. Let go of the fear. And just gratitude. Okay, have the gratitude for what you do have, and then the more we have gratitude for something, the more it comes up. So we've got our nine of swords, which is don't worry. Okay, this is say don't have sleepless nights over this at all. Okay, because look at that beautiful 6 of Cups. You've got a community all there. They're offering something. So I feel like we do have to stay in that state of gratitude and in that positivity. King of Wands. We literally create our own world with our actions and what we do. So
and something that Octavia says on the video is like, when the mind gives you those thoughts, it's like, no, and I don't accept that. I don't believe you. No, it's not part of my reality. Like, you just have to literally stand your ground to the mind and say, no, I don't subscribe to that. I don't subscribe to that thought. And because I was telling her in the conversation with her, it started where I was like, well, I'm just the mind, I'll be having a great day, and out of the blue, this negative thought comes in, like, like, for example, like, oh, the silver go down or whatever. And it's like, where did that come from? I was having a good day, and the mind came and just sabotaged me. And it's like, what is this crap, And so that's where she was like, she's like, yes. And it happens to me too. And she's a 5th dimensional person, if I ever met one. And she's like, it happens to me too. And I just go, no, I don't believe you. I don't accept that. That's not mine. I don't take it. No. Because it's going to do that. It's just, it is what it is.
That's it. And I think too, it's like you said, it's catching it, it's noticing it. So I remember I started retraining my brain when I was probably in my sort of mid-20s. I went, what is this thing? It just is like a record player. It's just going round and round in my head. I went, I don't like this. And so I actually read some books and got some help. And I went, so I used some strategies and I retrained my brain. So if I do notice something like what Elisa's talking about, because it'll still come in. I go, oh, no, thank you. I don't want that. Wipe. And then I just create something that I do want. So I started by doing 10 positive things. If I had to have one that was going round and round, I'd stop it, change it up for 10 positive things that I could think of around that scenario.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of them would be the opposite, right? So in this case, like we'll use this example of a fear of a power outage. Instead, I would imagine the opposite. So I would imagine like how happy I was, how to that I went through the winter and nothing happened. It's like being on the other side of winter and going like, oh my God, how awesome was it that everything was perfect and nothing happened. And like that's how I tend to do it. So yeah. So and I wanna before this disappears, Elizabeth, thank you so much for your donation. Thank you.
Thank you, Elizabeth. That's beautiful.
Yes. Okay, so I'm sorry. Were you gonna say something, Maree?
No. That's fine. No. It's all good. So yeah, I was just going to say I've been emailing with Elizabeth, and we'll get back to her again. So yeah.
Okay, so now I'm going to try to share this without crashing and the system. All right, let's see if we can present. Okay, here we go. No, that's not it.
Just going to shut my door. Hold on a moment.
Okay. All right, let's see if I can. I don't know how to bring it back up here. All right, whatever. Let's bring. I know. Oh, here it is. It's hiding. My apologies. Okay. So let's see. Oh, there we go. Full screen. How do I? Okay. Can you see this if I change it?
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to watch this video real quick.
Okay.
And let me see. So he's showing some artifacts that were found. Why can't we hear it? All right, hold on. Okay. So anyway, so what he's talking about is some artifacts that have been found in the US, and that there is this hold on, I don't know why you guys can't hear the audio.
Do you have to turn your audio off to have that audio on?
I don't know. Oh,
they've been finding
ancient there.
Egyptian
Can you hear it?
Yes, well done.
Architecture all across the Americas. But when you find an Egyptian pyramid off the coast of New Orleans and you name it the Crescent after the Fertile Crescent, and you look at the Gulf of Mexico and it's in the shape of a crescent, it's time to rethink all of history. You see, America is the real ancient Egypt, and it's time to take a look at this. Now watch this video.
An amateur archaeologist says he's discovered the ruins of an ancient civilization off the coast of St. Bernard Parish.
He claims there are large mounds underwater that may have once been the site of a lost city thousands of years ago.
Paul Murphy reports local fishermen have long talked about strange and unexplained things happening in that area.
The Chandeleur Islands are a chain of uninhabited barrier islands located in the Gulf of Mexico, 50 miles east of New Orleans. But 12,000 years ago, before a dramatic sea level rise at the end of the last ice age, this area may have been dry land.
3 different search areas.
Retired architect and amateur archaeologist George Gillet believes the site, now underwater, was once home to an ancient civilization. He dubbed the city Crescentus.
What's down there is hundreds of buildings that are covered with sand and silt and that are geographically related to the Great Pyramid of Giza.
Giza is a city in northern Egypt where ancient pyramids and the Sphinx are located. Gillet claims to have found mysterious mounds of granite under Chandeleur Sound. Granite is not native to Louisiana or Mississippi.
somebody floated a billion stones down the Mississippi River and then assembled them outside of what would later become New Orleans.
Gillet has spent nearly 50 years studying the site. He produced underwater sonar images of what he claims are remnants of major buildings, including a large pyramid,
which produces an electromagnetic energy that's incredible. And it is apparently 280 feet tall.
St. Bernard Parish shrimper Ricky Robin says he's experienced the energy firsthand. Robin claims the compass on his boat spun completely around near the area where Gillet pinpointed the tip of the pyramid. And that's not all.
But everything will go out on your boat, all your electronics, like if you was in the Bermuda Triangle. See, that's exactly what we got here.
All right. So, let's see. There we go. Okay. So, you know, can we ask the cards about this? About specifically this area? Because what I'm going to show you later on is I'm going to show you more of the other pyramids that we found, you know, in the U.S. And so I wanted to ask first about this. So are there, well, the main question is this: is the U.S. the real ancient Egypt? Are there pyramids in the U.S. that are more ancient than in Egypt? And
Okay.
then the second question would be, have they been hidden on purpose?
Okay, so let's ask the first one. Are there pyramids that are more ancient or more powerful, even more ancient than Egypt? Let's have a look and see. Well, this is interesting because we've got our page of wands, and to me, this is something that's it's a learning, and it's something that's not as big as. And then we've got our Queen of Wands, so it feels like there's a different energy to it. So it's almost like it's like the timing doesn't matter, is what I'm getting with this, because it's been built with a different energy. Yeah, Nine of Cups. There was a different intention. There was a different desire around the pyramids that are in the continent, you know, in the US, in the American continent. So I don't think the age thing is relevant, is what I'm getting from these cards. Does that make sense? Yeah, because we've got our Nine of Swords, which is don't worry. So don't worry about the age. This is because they've actually got a different function, or they're different.
Okay.
Okay. Which is interesting.
Yeah. So are they connected to Egyptians in any way, those pyramids?
Into the pyramids, are there any line, you know? Yeah, because sometimes we find what we were finding in some of our previous chats, wasn't it? It was the energetic grid lines that were lining up with a lot of these. So okay, so let's just see what happens. I mean, because, you know, in Australia we've got pyramids and they've deliberately covered them up.
Yeah, well, he said that he thinks they floated a bunch of rocks to cover, you know, to cover it.
Yep.
So that would be the next question.
Okay. So sorry, what's this question? What's this one we're doing now?
So is it connected to Egypt?
Oh, that's right. Thank you. Yeah.
Connected to Egypt.
Okay.
I mean, did it confirm there are pyramids there? Okay.
Yes. Yeah, that's what the Queen of Wands definitely did. She validated that Page of Wands. Yeah. So, and then the Nine of Cups. Yeah, definitely. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah. King of Wands. So there's definitely some correlation, even if it's through the grid lines, through the, you know, the energetic grid lines of the earth, because that's often what will happen. There's a link up with that. Okay. Let me just get my other cards out. Oh, you want to come out? You're hot. There's something happened though. We've got the Queen of Cups. So to me, this is someone where there's been grief. So I feel that obviously something's happened if they're sort of not still on land. And look at that, we've got the Hierophant. So this is someone that's had a lot of power, somebody that's actually had authority and power. So something has definitely happened. There was a link. There was absolutely a link up with the what we know as the Egyptian pyramids.
Okay. So where they covered up, where are they covered up?
Okay, let's have a look and see. So the ones in the US that you're talking about, or those ones? Yeah,
the ones that were on the video, the crescentus, yeah, I think you called it.
Yeah. Okay. Were they covered up? Have they been covered?
Purposefully.
Yeah, that's what I was getting. Ow, you want to come out? Yeah, that one wants to come out. Yes, so there was it's starting to come out though, because we've got the Queen of Swords and she's someone that speaks directly. So even, and then Judgment. So it looks like it's actually being shown, because what we've been offered before, that Four of Cups, it's like it wasn't something people were really interested in maybe, or thought about that much, but now it's starting to come out into the public eye. Again, it's just more of this revelation, which is what the Judgment card to me is about. It's sort of showing us, yes, there's stuff that's been hidden.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely.
Do you think the cards could tell us why they hid these specific, have they hidden pyramids in the US? Like, we know there's pyramids all over the US. So what is the why? Like, what's the point?
Well, why have they lied to us about everything? It's, if we knew that other civilizations didn't really use slaves to make these things, and didn't really, if we knew the technology, then we'd be going, well, where is it? So in a way, to me, just logically looking at that, they don't want us to understand about the etheric field. They don't want us to understand about frequency, do they? Because
but the thing is, if they were going to cover, why not cover them all? Why didn't they cover the Giza pyramids?
Yeah, true. But I mean, yeah. Okay, let me just ask. So can we see if we can get a reason? How you want to come out? Ooh. Interesting. We've got our Four of Wands, and this to me is always where there's something's being built. It's like a castle's being built, or a place has been built that is safe. So, and the High Priestess. So this is mysteries as well that are sort of being held back from. So it's almost like, Ace of Pentacles. Okay, so I feel that these are from another reality, and it's almost like if we were to have the experience we've had, it's like they had to be kept secret. That's what I feel that High Priestess is saying as well. Do you understand? So it's like we're in a whole new, let's say there was mud floods or whatever way back, end of the 1800s. So it's almost like they turned off and started again on Earth. So that's what I'm feeling this is. So a lot's been hidden to create the reality that we actually are in now. And I guess if they'd had all of those out there, then it would have blown the cover of the experience and the story pretty much straight away. That's what I'm feeling the cards are saying.
Okay, interesting.
I don't know. What are your thoughts on that, Elisa?
Well, so I know that as we raise our vibration, things that are in that higher vibrational field are going to come into our sight, because before our vibration was lower, we're not going to see it because it's not in that vibration. It's in this vibration, not in this one.
Correct.
Yeah, like the channel, right?
It.
You change the channel, the history channel, that's not the same as the science channel. Well, let's say we were at the science channel, now we're moving to the history channel. That's where the pyramids are. So I
agree with you. And the interesting thing is, the whole whole reason for this experience, I guess, is because we've been in a much lower frequency vibration. And for the first time, we're staying in our physical bodies and actually upgrading and going through into these much higher frequencies. And it was interesting, as you were talking, I often tune in and, yeah, Wheel of Fortune. So we're doing this massive shift on a global scale. We're going into a much better place, which is what our Six of Swords tells us. We're actually going into a better place because that's where we've been. We've been blind, like, you know, closed off to everything, really restricted. But it's changing. We've got our Ace of Wands, which to me is action that is of a high caliber. So so you're right. I think that's a beautiful way to put it.
Yeah.
Because I kept getting the words dark to light. So we're going through from that low vibration into a place of high vibration.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we can see it more and accept it more, you know, as well.
Yeah. So there's something that came to mind and now it's gone. Okay. So the pyramids okay. So the way this started, it's super interesting, and this is how synchronicities work, right? So I'm going to Sedona with some girlfriends, and they asked for our IDs. And we had this because the woman that rents the house wants only 35-year-old or older.
Mm-hmm.
And so I look at the picture she sent me of her driver's license, and there's a pyramid. And she lives in Tennessee. And I'm like, why is there a pyramid in your driver's license? I'm like, what the heck? And she goes, oh, well, we have this building. And let's see if I can bring it up again. Let's see. Now I have to go here. Here it is. Do you see it?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So that's the building that is on her driver's license.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That looks a little bit like the in Paris, you know, where they have the Mona Lisa. They've got that pyramid there as well, the glass one.
Yeah. That one's tiny.
Big.
This one's a gigantic building.
Wow.
And then we started looking into other pyramids, and there's this one that was found in Sacramento, Pyramidal State Office building along the Sacramento River across from downtown Sacramento, California's capital city, which is not a surprise. And then this one, a pyramid in the middle of nowhere built to track the end of the world.
That's interesting. Where is that one? Do you know? Is that in the US?
I think so. I'm not sure.
Mm-mm.
So, yeah. So anyway, these are, the stuff that we're going to talk about. So let's start with the first pyramid. I mean, they're all government offices.
Yeah.
So are these being used for nefarious purposes or
Well,
work?
I guess, I mean, if we look at money, they've put the pyramid, haven't they? Isn't the pyramid in an aspect of the US dollar? Isn't there a pyramid?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and with all the other ways that they've turned some of the good symbols, powerful symbols, into their symbols, it does make you wonder. But and that's what they do. They invert, remember. So it doesn't necessarily mean to say that pyramids are evil. They invert and use a completely different intention. Like, everything. They've inverted. 666 is actually one of the closest numbers to our creator. So what do? They take it and they invert it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, but yeah, look, and it's true. I was actually getting this feeling before. I think Tribal has put up there that when apparently, well, I mean, who knows if this is true, but apparently there were beings that left Atlantis before it went down, and they went all over the world. So, and there would have been, if people were in tune consciously, they would have had the knowledge and wisdom on how to build things and work with the etheric frequency. So because they would have all been connected anyway. So that these pyramids probably went up everywhere.
Yeah, but the reason there's a question is because they're connected to the government.
Yes.
That's why there's a question. It's not that there's a pyramid.
No, you're right. There's the intention that went with it. When the Seven of Cups comes up, that tells me there's chaos. It tells me that there's some distortion. Okay, so that's deliberate. So yeah, and this one's hot. Let me just get this one up. Yeah, we're getting a yes. We're getting a yes. We're getting an Ace of Wands. And the Three of Cups flipped over. To me, this is a celebration. So they know when their intention goes wherever, they want things to go, they're getting what they want out of it. So I would say that, yes, that's an intention. They don't do something like that lightly.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And who knows what's under there? Like, right. What's under there?
Yeah, let's see what the cards can tell us.
Yeah. It's like under our Parliament House that they built. Apparently, it's even bigger than the actual, even right up to the spire on the top. It's deeper than that underneath with what they've got going on under there. Terror, disgusting. So, okay, let's have a look here for under the pyramid. Do you want to do that one in particular that we were talking about, the government one there?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
Okay.
It's
like a symbol of like.
It's a symbol.
It's like a symbol. Here's what you're looking for.
You cannot get any more yeses than this. It's like the Parliament House here is in their symbols. It's in the Freemason symbols. The whole thing was made in symbology. Yeah, because this is what goes on under there. It's long, horrible journey, but we know that it's going to come to an end. We do know that. But yes, it's symbology. You're spot on.
Yeah,
it's crazy. 2 yeses straight up, bang bang.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. All right. So let me close those out. Okay. Real quick, because it's glitching my computer.
Okay.
Okay. So there's shady stuff going on under there. Has that been stopped? Is that still going on, or has that been stopped?
Let's have a look and see. Yeah, I'm getting a yes. And we've got our Six of Swords, so which is moving into a better place. Queen of Pentacles. So this is when an aspect is looked at and really studied and the reality's been looked at. Yeah, that's definitely been taken down. And yeah, there's been a strategy around it as well. They've left some stuff so for people to be able to see with their own eyes what really went on. Not actual, I can't say the word, but they've left some things so that people will actually be able to go down and have a look.
Oh my gosh.
That's what I'm getting from that card, because people won't believe it unless they see it sometimes, will they? So yeah, King of Swords. Yeah, they've got to tell the story so that people can look at it themselves. So there will be places where they'll show these were the tunnel entrances. This is what would happen. This is where they'd go. I believe that's going to be part of the actual show and tell.
Wow.
And I think, but it's so interesting. Like some people, unless they touch and see, they just don't believe. They will never believe it. They'll go, oh, that cannot be true, no matter what they're told or what, comes out. So, yeah, I do believe that.
People can't handle the fact that there could be wrong. Like, me be wrong of what I believe. Oh, my God. Like, that is just something they cannot deal with.
And a lot of that comes back to self-worth. It's like they're too scared to ask questions, because if they burst their little bubble, then they don't know who they are, because they relate to everything externally. That's when that self-worth, self-love really can show, but this is my title. And if you say all that, then it's not who I am.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of that, all that time and money put into a degree, and what if it's not true?
Right. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Let's see. Lady Hawk. Are the ruins Anunnaki from before the destruction from wars? It was said they divided all the earth between them, and do they just look Egyptian? Are the ruins?
Okay, so I
Are the
feel
ruins
yeah.
Anunnaki from before the destruction from wars? Okay.
Yeah. So was it from like the Anunnaki times when all over the earth? Then
right.
yeah, which
The
is sort of
ruins.
what I was saying, is there was that knowing, there was that ability to build the pyramids and to actually, I guess, to have that conscious connection. So there was some knowledge, obviously, that was worldwide at some point. So we can ask to see if it was the Anunnaki, to see if that's where it came from. Let's have a little look and see. Interesting. Yeah, I do believe, yeah. So the Three of Cups has come up. So that was something that, to me, there was a celebration around that, because there was this absolute hookup coming through. Then something happened. So that Three of Swords has come up. So I do believe that something did happen to change the whole connectivity of everything. Yeah, and then the Two of Cups. So this, to me, is when people come together and work in collaboration. All right. So there was definitely, I feel that what you're saying, there could have actually been something to that. And some of the technology or whatever that came with them, with the Anunnaki, that's the knowledge and wisdom that then could have been worked with different races or different beings. Yeah. I reckon that's quite possible from those cards.
Okay. All right. So interesting. And then I know that we did a show. Did we do a show in Bermuda Triangle?
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there was definitely a link in, from what I remember, to the Atlantean technology.
Yeah, and the area in the Bahamas, right? That it was the area in the Bahamas.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Kathleen, if you go back, look up the video on Atlantis, and we talk about this, about the Bahamas and the Bermuda Triangle.
It's fascinating, isn't it? When there's mysteries, I remember as a child, I don't know how I found out about them, but I was always completely enamored with, like Atlantis, Bermuda Triangle, like the fascination around it. So we obviously know from other lifetimes, we know probably what's there as well, in truth too.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. So, okay. So, and then Dennis was asking, is the city they found of Cuba Egyptian or something else, I guess, would be the question, right?
Yeah. Okay. So I guess if we talk Egyptian, maybe we're just going to talk, maybe instead of it being Egyptian people, it's the technology or whatever they were doing in that time that then was worldwide. So that's it. That's probably one way of looking at it as well, isn't it? Rather than thinking straight away Egyptian people. When was the city? Do you know anything about the city, Elisa?
The city. Well, Dennis is talking about what this underwater.
Oh, okay. So that's the same one that you showed. That's what he's asking about.
I think no, off of Cuba. That's Atlantis.
Yeah. So that's a different one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's Atlantis. That's the city they found off of Cuba. That's definitely Atlantis. But what he's asking is if it's Egyptian. Well, the Egyptians came from Atlantis.
They did. So, yeah. So
it's like
exactly. And the cards show that Five of Cups. So there was grief, Five of Pentacles, when you've been cast out, when you feel like you're abandoned, there's change going on. And then the High Priestess. So it moved into a bit more of a secret. Yeah, they definitely, anything I feel, that came from that has that technology definitely came from the Atlantean era. So this is what that Two of Cups is telling us. Again, there was definitely a connection, relationship with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then Kathleen was asking if the pyramids in the US from Atlantean times or later Egyptian times. The pyramids in the US.
Okay.
So
That's a good question.
We're not talking obviously about the newer governmental ones that we saw
No.
that are being hidden from us.
Correct. Let's have a look and see, Kathleen.
Because I don't know if you remember, there was we did a decode on my trip to Colorado, and I showed you the picture of a pyramid that I saw, a mountain that looked like a pyramid. And yeah, and I think it said it was a pyramid, right?
Yeah. We've got more than one in Australia. Unbelievable. Massive. Yeah. You know?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to ask, is this from, I'm going to ask it really clearly, is this from Atlantean times or after? Okay. Ooh. After, I think, because we've got the Five of Cups. So it doesn't, after might not be very long either. You know, it might have just been something that then got forwarded through, sort of, if it was part of the Atlantean era.
Well, what it could have been is that, right, the people left in boats. So they went, some floated off to Egypt and some floated off to right in that area that we're talking about in Louisiana.
Yeah. And the other thing is too, remember, they probably had craft. They could get there like that, and they had the technology to be able to do anything, because the cards I've got, there was definitely something secretive and hidden, because the King of Cups, he's a master of emotions, but there's often something hidden. And then we've got our Eight of Wands, so something happened very quickly. So it could have been around a similar timeline, not too far much later, is what I'm getting as well intuitively. So Kathleen, so something that was, they knew something was coming, I feel, because the moon cards come up. So I feel that like Elisa said, there was definitely a shift to different areas.
Yeah.
They had the technology there. Yeah. So slightly later, but not too much is what I'm getting.
Okay. And then Dennis was asking if the Chinese pyramids are Egyptian. I didn't know there were Chinese pyramids.
Oh, I think every continent would have pyramids.
Probably.
Yeah.
There's probably lots.
I know. If Australia has them, good grief, So let's have a look and see. So Dennis, what I'm going to do is the Egyptian, we're going to maybe call it Atlantean, because it was Atlantean technology. So I think, is that, otherwise, look, let's just go Egypt, that era. Let's have a look and see. Oh, okay. Yeah. I think it was later again. It was around that time, because we've got that Five of Pentacles again, when they were outcast from Atlantis. So it was actually more Egyptian times than Atlantis. So, which is interesting, isn't it? So Star card, that always tells me that there's been questions asked, and then it's like getting through information and making decisions from a higher place. So I think it was definitely not Atlantean. This was later. Yeah. Interesting, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that one wants to come out. The Empress. So they were created in their own right, but later than Atlantis. Okay. So the technology was all still there, and the knowing was all still there.
Interesting.
I know.
We need to find out our real history.
Wouldn't it be great if they just got a timeline, and if there was whole other dimensions, like they say with the mud floods that we've had, they could do that as a little hook off, but otherwise do us a timeline. What happened when?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, so good.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. Dennis, always with his interesting questions. And the elves. Are there different elf clans holding the capstones to some of the pyramids?
Interesting. Okay.
That
So
is-
remember, Dennis, though, I think there's there could be some elf DNA in quite a lot of humans. So from what we got the other day, let's just have a little look and see.
yeah, I think he said he's connected to them.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Good grief. This card keeps coming up. We've got our Five of Cups again. This is a grief card. This is something that's happened that's caused real grief. So let's just see. So we're asking about the elves. Oh, you're not going to believe it. I shuffled these cards. I've cleared them. They're going together today, the Five of Pentacles. So, okay, so it's telling me a story. So it's telling me that we've had this 3 times now in a row around the pyramids. So the same things happened everywhere. So let's just see now if we're asking about the capstones. Interesting. Queen of Swords. Now, when this card comes up, to me, it's actually saying that something is sort of a truth and it's been spoken about. Oh, okay. I'm getting told that this was known about in the past because, yeah, it's something where there's truth being spoken and it's very direct. So I feel that there's something that is actually knows where they are or has been working with them. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
and again,
But I don't know if it's elf related.
no.
Because I had somebody in a session.
No.
She was the daughter of one of the men that was a keeper of the stones that make the pyramids of Giza work. And they were actually in the session. She was the son, and they were removing the stones from the pyramid because they knew that humanity was going to use it for bad purposes. So they were hiding these stones, and they were human. They weren't elves.
And that's what I'm saying. And that's why I think I said at the beginning, remember, even humans have got maybe some DNA or some memory of elf from somewhere. So, yeah. So, and then we've got our 8 of Cups, which is walking away from something, and something happened very quickly. Action was taken very quickly.
But the actual question that reads, if you read the actual question, are the elf clans holding the cap stones? So what is the answer to that?
The problem is if some humans have got some elf aspects in them, then it gets convoluted. Do you understand? Yeah. Yep. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's why it's interesting. So I wouldn't say there's a whole group of clans that are elf. It could be humans that have got this elf in them. And I said that at the beginning because I was sort of getting that download. So, yeah. So, no, I mean, if you're going to imagine a whole clan of beings that are elf, then no, I would say it's, like you said, it's humans that have got the aspect in them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we could all have it in us, you know. Because where does these stories of elves come from?
Okay. So the next question I see is from Trixie. She wants Jasper to tell us, or the cards, that a positive change or event will happen by year's end for all humanity. Will it happen by year's end for all of humanity? A positive change.
Okay, so immediately straight away what I'm getting is we choose whether we have a positive change in our life at the end of the day. It's our mindset, it's our way we are, it's our choice.
Our belief.
So yeah, it's our belief. So it depends what you mean. I mean, so Trixie Top, for you, does this mean that everybody feels joyful? It doesn't matter what's happened externally. So this is where it gets a little bit convoluted as well. Again,
yeah, where it needs to be detailed.
Yeah. So, like Trixie Tot, do you want to know if maybe because it might not be happy for some people to find out the truth. So you see what I'm saying? So yeah. So it's or it might not be happy for people to have their bank go down and them not have any account in there anymore. It might not be happy, you know. So I think that's everybody's choice. At the end of the day, it's who we are in here. It's what we choose to experience. What do you think, Elisa?
Isn't it gonna depend on what vibrational
Yes.
timeline you're in? I mean, the higher the vibrational timeline, the higher the chances of that happening. So I don't know if the cards could tell us, because it varies on which timeline you're in, and I don't know, right?
And all of humanity as well, Trixie. Everyone, as Elisa's just said, everyone's on a different way and perspective and timeline looking at their experience. So that one's just a little bit too big. You know, if people choose, people can, I mean, look at the people that have had an accident not being able to walk, and yet they're so happy and positive. They're going, I know that this is actually going to make me stronger. This is actually going to help me grow. So it just depends on your whole attitude and the whole way we perceive life at the end of the day. So I'd love to go, yep, everyone's just going to be jumping out of their skin for joy by the end of the year because they get it. They've actually decided to do some work on their trauma. They've decided to do some inner work on the way they think. They're, they're going to pamper themselves. They're going to love themselves. They're going to be kind to themselves. So that to me is what actually brings about a nice change event.
Yeah.
Brings happiness. People get money and they say within a certain amount of time, they're back to the same happiness even before they won the lotto or had all this money. So it's internal. I know.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So I would say yes. That's going to happen.
Yes.
Let's do it.
I love it. Yes, it is.
Okay. So Kibu wanted to know if the Kofuns, the keyhole-shaped tombs, connected to Atlantis. Are they Atlantean technology? Are they energy structures or tombs?
Wow. Have you heard of these before, Elisa?
No, I have not.
Keyhole-shaped tombs. Where are they found, I wonder? I've not heard of them. So,
yeah, I'm looking to see images.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So they're like these keyhole looking greenery areas or shaped areas.
So are they big? Like are they small, like one person fits in them, or are they
let's see if I can share. Shoot. It won't. Yeah, it won't. Weird. It won't let me
share it. Okay, that's all right. We can just ask the question. I'll just do with whatever is the usual type of co-funds. That's how I'll call them. Co-funds.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me just see. Are they connected to Atlantis technology?
In Japan.
Ah, they're in Japan. Interesting.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, the Trixie, we'll ask Jesper to give us one last word before we go.
Yeah. I feel that they were a transition from the Atlantean technology because we have got our death card, and that can sometimes be a slower transition. So it may have been an aspect. And I'm actually intuitively getting that there could have been aspects of it that were missed for some reason. Yeah, King of Pentacles. So this is someone that creates reality. They're a mastermind. So there was a lot of that technology and wisdom and knowledge that was brought through from Atlantis to create things like that. Yeah, Nine of Cups. This is exactly what they wanted and desired. So, yeah, I would say yes, Kibu, that there was definitely a connection to Atlantis. King of Swords, that's another yes. So it's the right story. So it looked like it transitioned across from Atlantis, and there may have been their own flair to it. They may have actually done their own. Yeah, the Fool, as I was getting that intuition. So the Fool card is something new. So they were actually also adding their own new aspects to it.
Okay.
Really interesting.
That is interesting. All right, so let's talk to Jazzy and have Jazzy give us some some info on what's to come before the end of the year.
Okay, so we'll do for December. Let's just tune in and see what comes through from Jasper. He's showing me a light coming in, and you know that song, "There's a light, certain kind of light," and it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So we are in for some massive light frequency codes coming through. I almost couldn't look at it when he was showing it to me because it was so bright. And I don't know if anyone else has noticed this. I've worn sunglasses for like 10 years, 12 years, just haven't. My eyes have become accustomed. I am finding it so glary. I don't know if anyone else is noticing that, but I'm just finding it's like the light frequency is so bright. I'm almost starting to think about having to put sunglasses on occasionally. So it's interesting that he's actually, this is getting shown to me as well. So I'll just keep tuning in. Okay. And as this filters through, this is what's actually going to change people's perception and consciousness. So they're sort of, they're waking up. So they're asking questions. So this is actually going to be happening over the next 3 to 4 weeks is what I'm getting from him. So where there wasn't light before, he's showing me there's light now. So,
Okay.
And this is big, guys. So don't be surprised if you do find you go through some light body symptoms. Okay, we know what they are. You can get headaches, you can get tummy upset, you can get heart palpitations, you can be tired, you can whatever. So don't be surprised if you actually start having that come over the next few weeks. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's massive shift.
Awesome. Thank you, Jazzy.
Thanks, Jasper.
Well, that's very good. So we're again, this has flown by. I wonder what they'll send me to talk about next Monday. It's getting super interesting how these things are arriving. So yeah, Mel. Hey, Mel, the future's so bright. I gotta wear shades. I like that. I like that. I like that. That's awesome. All right, everybody. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting us with your presence and your beautiful light. We love you so much. Thank you, Maree. And don't forget, everybody, to watch Maree's dream show. If you haven't watched it from Sunday, go ahead and watch it. And then next Sunday coming up as well.
Yes, so 6 p.m. your time in US. Yep.
Yes.
So all right. Lots of love.
Bye-bye.
Bye.